All right, let's just jump right in. What if you could build really complex software? Powerful stuff, using just your ideas. No coding required. Sounds kind of like science fiction, right? Well, today we're going to explore a concept that's making this a reality. It's called the syntax-free architecture. We're going to break down exactly how you can build these sophisticated systems without ever touching a line of code. So, does this sound familiar? You've got this amazing idea, right? A total game changer for an app or some new tool. But then, bam, you hit that wall. The I can't code wall. It's honestly one of the most frustrating feelings, and it has stopped so many incredible innovations dead in their tracks. But here's the thing. What if that wall is finally starting to crumble?
Okay, just look at this for a second. This is not a concept. It's not a mock-up. This is a real, fully functional, quantitative trading assistant. I mean, this is the kind of system that would normally take a team of experts, people with deep, deep knowledge of Python or C++, months to build. And yet, this thing was created without a single line of code being written by hand. Wild, right? Well, stick around, because we're about to show you exactly how it was done.
So, before we get to the solution, we really have to understand the problem we're trying to solve here. For decades, there's been this giant obstacle. Let's call it the syntax barrier. Think of it like a huge invisible wall made of complex programming languages, and it's been standing between amazing ideas and actually making them happen for a long, long time. And this right here, this shows the massive shift that's happening. In the old world, the traditional tech world, the coder was the builder. Simple as that. Your idea was basically held hostage by someone's ability to translate it into code. But in this new AI-collaborated world, that barrier's just gone. The power has shifted. The builder isn't the coder anymore. The builder is the system architect, the person with the actual vision.
Okay, so you're probably asking, how is this even possible? Well, it all comes down to a totally new way of thinking about AI. We've got to stop seeing it as just a fancy chatbot or a search engine. You need to start thinking of it as your new partner in creation, your very own AI junior developer.
And here's how that partnership works. It's a new division of labor. You, as the human, you're the system architect. Your job is the cool part, the high-level engineering, the big-picture thinking, the what and the why. You're the one who creates the logic structures. And the AI? It's your junior dev. It handles all the grunt work, all that tedious manual labor of actually writing the code, hunting down bugs, and dealing with library imports.
Now this right here is the absolute key. It's a total mental shift. The goal isn't to memorize countless syntax libraries anymore. Forget that. Your value, your expertise, is now measured by how well you can design a clear, logical structure for a system. You bring the blueprint, the grand design. The AI brings the hammers and nails.
Okay, so that's the big idea, the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's get practical and dive into the three-pillar workflow that turns your logic into a real working product.
So, the whole process really boils down to three key steps. 3 pillars. First up is engineering the logic using something called prompt-driven design. Then, pillar 2 is creating that end-to-end user experience and interface, the AI-generated dashboard. And finally, you bring it all together with system integration, building the logic pipeline. Let's break down each one of these.
All right, Pillar 1, engineering logic. This is where the magic really starts to happen. See, prompt-driven design isn't just about asking the AI a simple question. It's way more sophisticated. You're giving it a detailed brief, a clear set of instructions, rules, constraints, all in plain English. You are literally designing the system's brain through a conversation.
Just look at this example. It's perfect. On the left, you've got a super simple rule written in plain English, right? If the price is less than the opening range and the trend is bearish, then print a signal. Easy. Now look at the right. That's the complex PineScript code, a really specialized language just for trading charts that the AI spit out from that one sentence. It handled everything, the syntax, the variables, all of it. All you did was provide the simple, core logic.
And the benefit here is just staggering. The creator of this system put it perfectly. This lets you code at the speed of thought. Think about that. Instead of wasting hours, maybe even days, hunting for a missing semicolon or a typo, you can now test, tweak, and perfect your core ideas in a matter of minutes. It's a massive speed boost. Okay, let's move on to Pillar 2, the AI-generated dashboard. Because, a system isn't just a bunch of code running in the background. It needs a face, an interface for a human to actually use it. And let me tell you, building a good-looking, dynamic, responsive UI,
That's traditionally been a huge, difficult part of any project. But with this workflow, even the UI becomes a collaboration. The AI literally generated the code for all of these complex features you see here. We're talking about the dynamic bias score panel that shows you market sentiment, that real-time signal score column, and even those adaptive red and green trend clouds. I mean, these are seriously sophisticated UI elements, and they were all built from simple, logical descriptions of what was needed.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, Pillar 3, the logic pipeline. This is where it all comes together. We take your human strategy, we take the AI's code, and we plug them into a seamless automated system that's ready to go live.
What this workflow creates is this really powerful loop. It starts with the human, that's you, defining the high-level strategy and, super importantly, the safety rules. Then the AI takes over, processing all those rules and constraints and turning them into clean production-ready code. And finally, that code gets deployed and executed on a platform like TradingView, taking your idea from a concept to something that's actually alive and working. So we've talked about the what and the how, but now for the fun part. Let's see the results. What does this syntax-free architecture actually create at the end of the day? Let's take a look at the final product in action.
Check this out, a perfect before and after. On the left, you've got your standard noisy price chart. Kind of chaotic, right? Now look at the right. That's the exact same chart, but now it's supercharged with our AI-generated assistant. The difference is night and day. You can immediately see the value with the bias score, the trend clouds, the real-time signals. It literally transforms chaos into a clear, actionable dashboard.
And this system isn't a one-trick pony. It's incredibly robust. Here it is analyzing the Brazilian stock VAL 3, and you can see it's clearly identifying a bearish bias in the market.
Okay, now let's jump over to a totally different market, the Royal Bank of Canada. The system just adapts instantly, no problem, providing that same exact level of high-quality analysis.
And for one more, let's look at the NASDAQ 100 index. Again, it's right there, flagging potential trades. So think about that. We went from a simple idea, a set of rules in English, to live analysis across global markets. And I'll say it again, all without writing a single line of code by hand.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? What does it all mean? It means we are entering a fundamentally new era for creators. An era where the main obstacle, the biggest bottleneck to building something amazing, isn't your technical skill anymore. It's the quality and clarity of your ideas.
And this, right here, is the single most important thing to understand. For decades, the price of admission to build anything in the digital world was knowing how to code. That's just not true anymore. The new barrier to entry, and honestly, the new most valuable skill, is logic. It's not about who can write the cleanest code. It's about who can design the smartest, most logical systems.
And that really brings us to a final, and I think pretty powerful question. I'm talking to everyone out there who's ever had a great idea but felt like they were stuck on the sidelines because they couldn't code. The game has completely changed. The tools are finally here. So, now that syntax isn't a barrier anymore, what are you going to build?